Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday, May 24th, 2026 writing reading class. I hope you had a good week. Let's go ahead and get started. Just give me a one in the chat room to let me know you can hear me okay.
Okay, teacher.
And Zoe, is this your first time in the class?
Yes.
Are you doing a makeup class? Do you have normally another class? Zoe, is this a class? Are you normally with another teacher?
No, but this class is my today is my last class.
Your first class. Your first class? Or did you
No,
mean last? Your last class that you have in
this
the with the school? Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. I just wanted to double check for accounting purposes. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. And so since this is your first time in class, if you want to speak, you can just use the hand raise icon, and that way we won't speak over anyone. But today we're going to be starting off with our quote of the day with some expansion. We'll get into a reading with a quiz. We'll talk about some vocabulary. We'll talk about some theories for good writing, and then we'll also introduce a new book. Let's start with our quote. Alice, can you read the quote over on the left?
The best fights are the ones we avoid.
Excellent. And this was a quote by Jackie Chan. Now, what is Jackie Chan saying in this quote? What is he telling people? The best fights are the ones we avoid. Ethan, any idea? What do you think, Ethan?
Um, maybe like if we try to avoid them, like maybe it's very hard, and like the best fight, it's like you're trying to challenge yourself, like because it's very hard, like you will try to avoid that.
No, not quite. Not quite. Zoe, any idea what the quote means? Any idea what the quote means, Zoe? You can unmute. No? Angela, any idea what the quote means? Alice, any idea what the quote means?
Maybe it means like when people avoid something and that thing is what they want.
When they avoid it, it's what? I'm sorry?
When they avoid something and the things they avoid is the things that they want.
No, not quite. Let's see, Angela, any guesses?
um not really.
Okay, well, let me explain a little bit. Now, this helps if you understand who Jackie Chan is. Does anyone know who Jackie Chan is? Well, Jackie Chan is a famous kung fu fighter. He does martial arts. So this is a reference to fighting, actually fighting. When he says the best fights are the ones we avoid, he is saying that it is better not to fight than to fight. So by choosing not to fight, avoiding a fight, that is actually the better thing to do. But it's interesting how he does a play on words because he's saying the best fight, which we think, okay, we're going to fight. But what he's actually saying, the fact that you don't fight is what makes that fight better because it was avoided. Well, today we are going to talk about Jackie Chan, who's had a very interesting career as a martial arts artist. Follow along as I read. Actor, director, producer, born April 7, 1954 in Hong Kong, China. Upon his graduation in 1971, Chan found work as an acrobat and a movie stuntman, most notably in Fist of Fury from 1972, starring Hong Kong's resident big screen superstar, Bruce Lee. After Lee's tragic, unexpected death in 1973, Chan was singled out as a likely successor of his mantle as the king of Hong Kong cinema. By this time, Chan had decided that he wanted to break out of the Lee mold and create his own image. Blending his martial arts ability with impressive nerve, he insisted on performing all of his own stunts and a sense of screwball physical comedy reminiscent of one of his idols, Buster Keaton. Chan found his own formula for cinematic gold. Before long, Chan had become the highest paid actor in Hong Kong and a huge international star throughout Asia. He exerted total control over most of his films, often taking charge of duties ranging from producing to directing to performing the theme songs. In 1986, he formed his own production company, Golden Way. He also founded a modeling/casting agency, Jackie's Angels, in order to recruit talent for his films. Additionally, after numerous stuntmen were injured during the filming of Police Story, the actor founded the Jackie Chan Stuntmen Association, through which he personally trained and provided medical coverage for its members. Chan is a noted philanthropist whose causes include conservation, animal welfare, and disaster relief. In 2006, he announced that he would donate half of his assets to charity when he dies. The movie star has served as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador since 2004. And in 2015, he was named Singapore's first anti-drug ambassador. Now, we're going to see if we can answer a few questions from the reading. Number one, I want you to find why was it important for Chan to perform his own stunts? Number two, why was it important for Chan to form his own association for stuntman? And then finally, question number three, why was it important for Chan to be a part of production of films he was in? Now, I'm copying all three questions over to the chat room so that you can refer to them. And then I'll go back to the reading so that you can search for the answers. Once you found all the answers, you can go ahead and raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll start discussing the answers once the time is up. Go ahead and take a moment and to find the answers to those three following questions. Okay, let's go ahead and start to discuss some of the answers to the questions. Angela, let's start off with you. Can you explain why was it important for Chan to perform his own stunts?
Maybe because that if he performs his own stunts, like he would be more famous because it's his own way, like um
Now, do you
so
think he did it for fame? Based on everything that we learned about his personality, do you think he did it for fame?
um kind of, but like a part of it.
Okay, I think there's probably a more clear reason, more likely reason why he did this. Think about some of the things that he did, that he created, the things that he cared about. Any thoughts?
No.
Ethan, any thoughts of why he may have done it?
No.
So think about the things that we learned about why what he cared about, some of the things that he did for other people. Alice?
No idea.
Okay. So later on, we learned about, if we go back to the reading, later we learned about the fact that he um, formed his own production company. So he did a lot of roles. He did producing, he did directing, he did performing the songs. We also learned that he created an association to help others and to train and to help other stuntmen. So if we think about our question, how does this relate to him probably performing his own stunts? What can we learn about, what can we assume about his personality? It wasn't because of he wanting to be famous. Something we can see here is that Jackie Chan is very particular about how things are done. The fact that he wanted to play all these different roles as far as directing, producing, doing music, he has a very, very particular way of doing things. He's got a very, he wants things done a certain way. And so this is probably why he also didn't have a stuntman because he wanted the stunts done a particular way. Not necessarily because of fame, but just because he was very particular about how he performed. Ethan, take a look at question number 2. Why was it important for Chan to form his own association for stuntmen? Ethan.
No idea.
So,
Teacher, can we go back to last page?
yep. So why was it important for Chan to form his own association?
Mm, mm, because they can help him uh, to to finish the film.
And when you say help, what exactly was that? What do you mean by help? What are they doing?
Mm,
So this kind of ties in with the first question as well. Let's see. Alice, any thoughts on this one?
No.
Angela?
Um, um,
So everyone
it,
take a look at the second paragraph towards the second half. We learn a lot about the specific reasons here. Raise your hands if raise your hand once you find the answer. Anyone? Okay. So in the second to last sentence, it says, additionally, after numerous stuntmen were injured during the filming of the Police Story, the actor founded the Jackie Chan Stunt Association. And he personally trained and provided medical coverage. So why was he providing medical coverage? Why do you think that was important for him? Ethan, why was that important for him to provide that for the stuntmen? Ethan, you can unmute. Why do you think it was important for him to do that? Ethan, can you?
Where is it again?
So this is the last sentence of the first paragraph. So the question is, why, when he formed this association, he personally trained them and he provided medical coverage. Why was that important?
So like maybe if something bad happens, he will get some medical cover.
So this is something that he gave to his people that were part of the association. Who can answer this question? Why would he do that? So why would he do that?
Teacher, I don't have idea.
Alice? Why would he do that? Why would he offer that?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, so we learned that the reason he started this stuntman is he personally trained the stuntmen. He also provided medical coverage for them. Why would he do that? Why would he want to personally train them and provide medical coverage?
I'm not sure.
Angela?
To um to keep
To keep what?
um mm,
Sorry, what?
not sure. Not sure.
Okay, so if he's seeing that stuntmen are getting injured, which we learned about before, he knows that he has the ability to not get injured. So for him, he probably thinks that the stuntmen are not well trained. That's why he says, okay, well, I'm going to train them. I want them also to be able to have their careers. So let me show you how to do these stunts properly so that you don't get hurt. And if you do, let's make sure that you can get yourself healed as soon as possible. Now, why would he do these sort of things? Well, as we learn later, he was a philanthropist. He cared about the well-being of other people, so well-being of other animals as well. So this is just a part of who his personality is. Okay, final question. Why was it important for Chan to be part of be a part of production of the films he was in? Why did he do this? Alice? Alice? You can unmute Alice. Alice, can you hear me? Alice, are you there? Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. Angela?
Maybe because like he could have like some of his um his his thoughts inside the film
And why would he want to do that?
because he he wants to make his um like
He wants to make what?
um he wants to like add like his own um like uh
I'm sorry, what?
um uh
I don't understand. What are you trying to say, Angela?
not
Do you need some help?
yeah.
Ethan? Why would it be important for him to be a part of all the production?
Like maybe he will know more about this.
Know more about what? What do you mean? Ethan, can you explain yourself? You need to unmute, otherwise I cannot keep yourself unmuted if I call on you. Ethan?
Um, like maybe he will know like more about what the film is doing. Like it's not they are not doing something others
They're not doing what?
wrong, something wrong.
Okay, so he, as we learned from before in question number one, he was very particular about what was happening. So by him being a part of all the aspects of the film, he could also could make sure that it's done the way that he wanted it to. So all of these sort of tie in together. But once again, the type of questions that I ask of you are not given in the writing. The idea is that you're able to infer the information, put the information together to come to a conclusion, the most reasonable conclusion possible. And this takes practice, okay? But we'll continue working on this because this type of analysis is very, very important in whatever language we're speaking. Being able to infer and assess information correctly based on based on the information that you're given. Okay, now we had some vocabulary words from the text: successor, mantle, reminiscent, recruit, and philanthropist. I'd like for you to make a sentence using two of the words. Think about what part of speech each of the words is, successor being a noun, mantle also a noun, reminiscent being an adjective, recruit being a noun, and philanthropist being a noun. Once you have your sentence, you can submit it to me privately in the chat room, and then we'll just look at the sentence and discuss just to make sure the meanings work out. Okay, we're going to take a look at the sentences coming in. If you want to submit, just go ahead and start to quickly wrap up and submit before we move on to the next topic. Let's look at yours, Angela. You wrote, "My dad recruited philanthropist in order for him to be an successor." Okay, so a couple of grammatical things. Number one, we need to put a period at the end of your sentences. Okay. Secondly, when you are picking articles, when you're deciding on which article to use, if it's a consonant, then you use a. We only use an if it was a vowel. So in both cases here, a philanthropist and a successor are the correct tenses to use. Now, let's also look at the phrase itself. We don't recruit a philanthropist. A philanthropist is someone who does something because of the goodness in their heart. So that doesn't quite work. Now, maybe you said the philanthropist recruited someone else. That might work. So maybe we could say in your phrase, a philanthropist, and then we could say recruited my dad. And this part, in order for him, it does work. We just don't need the comma there to be, I would say in this case, his successor. His successor. So what does your dad now have to do if he's the successor? What would your dad now have to do? So if someone's an successor in this case, and they were and the person that recruited was a philanthropist, what can we assume your dad would have to do? You can unmute, Angela.
To do like what the philanthropist like.
Okay, and give me an example of what a philanthropist would do.
Make films.
No, a philanthropist is someone that helps. A philanthropist is someone that, in many cases, they give a lot of money in order to help others in need. So let's see if we can add something to your sentence that would make that reference work. What would your dad have to do?
Maybe deliver money.
Okay, not deliver, but that's the idea. To donate a large amount of money to help others. That could work. Yeah. And that way, that gives us a sense, even if we don't know the word, what exactly philanthropist might be. Good. All right, Ethan, you wrote, after he unsuccessfully assumed the mantle of being the president, he secretly recruited some people to oppose the president. I'm not quite sure I understand what you meant here. After he Unsuccessfully assume the mantle. What do you mean by that?
Like he tried to let the president before elect him as the president, but he failed, and then he went secretly and it recruited some people to oppose the president.
You mean to oppose the one who won the election, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. He secretly, okay, to oppose maybe we could say the president who won. Now, to make that more clear in the first part, maybe we could say something like this. He unsuccessfully assumed the mantle of to become the next president. He secretly recruited some people to oppose the president who won. That would work. Okay, good. But yes, your use of the words does make sense. Okay, let me copy over Alice. Let's take a look at yours, Alice. You wrote, this successor make people reminisce of the last successor that he always treats his employees well. Okay. Good. Let's look at a couple of subject verb agreement. That the successor, this is third person, makes people reminisce of the last successor. That works. Now, you're talking about that being the successor. Better because you're talking about a person to use who. We have these relative pronouns who, whom, or whose. Those are all for people. Who is a better choice? That has become accepted, but who is really designed to discuss people. Who always, we don't need the he, who always treated, we're talking about the past one. So the subject verb agreement here, we're talking about the old successor who always treated his employees well. And now the sentence works. Okay, let's copy over Zoe. Now, Zoe, you wrote, the successor has mantle in life. This doesn't quite work. What were you trying to say about this?
I read it.
No, I don't quite understand what yours mean. The sentence doesn't work. The successor has, and what did you mean mantle in life? What did you mean?
How it means in life we can in life we have some work, some hard work.
Okay, so let me show you how we can make this work. The successor has a strong mantle for working hard in life. Now that works. So we're saying that the personality of the successor is that he or she works very hard. Now that works. Okay, very good. Now, I want to talk about the difference between some of these words, which are considered quantifiers. Let's look at some of them. Few versus little, many versus much, and some versus any. Let's talk about few and little first. Who can tell me what's the difference between few and little? What's the difference between few and little? Angela?
So few means like a small amount, and little means like the size.
No, they're both the same. They're both talking about a small amount, but what's the rule when I use few versus when I use little?
Oh, so few is like a bit and like a large amount, and
No, they're both small amount. Anyone know the difference when I use few versus when I use little? Okay, let's discuss. Few is when you are talking about something that is countable. You can count it. For example, I have a few apples. I can count apples, so I use few. Little we use when it is uncountable. For example, I have little time. We can't count the word time. I have little, I have little space. I have a little space. We can't count space. So keeping that in mind, what's the difference between many and much? They both mean a lot of something, but what's the difference? Ethan, any idea? They both mean a lot of something, but what's the difference between many and much?
Maybe many is for some countable things, and much is for some uncountable things.
That is correct. Many, I have many apples, countable. I have much time. I have much space. Now, what's the difference between some versus any? Some versus any. Zoe, any idea? Some versus any?
Some is countable.
Well, this actually does not have to do with countable or uncountable. What this has to do is with whether the sentence is affirmative, negative, or question. If the sentence is affirmative, you can use some. I have some time. If the sentence is negative, you use any. I don't have any time. You cannot say, I don't have some. That does not exist. You say any. Now, with both of these, you could have a question. You could form a question. I could say, do you have some time? I could also say, do you have any time? But what's the difference there? What's the difference if I say, do you have some time versus do you have any time? Angela, any idea? The difference between do you have some time or do you have any time?
so for some, like for any, it means like at any time.
So do you have some time versus do you have any time?
Like some is like 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 any means like however like many times, and some means like a little bit of time.
No, not quite. Now, when we speak of a question, We think that it's possible. When we say any, we doubt it's possible. If I say, do you have some time? I think you have time. If I say, do you have any time? I'm not sure and I doubt that you have some time, but I'm going to ask anyway. So while both questions are correct, it's okay to say, do you have some or do you say have any? The meaning behind it is different. Whether I think it's possible or whether I don't think it's possible. Okay, let's try an exercise on this page here. This explains a little bit more in detail, but let's see if we can come up with the correct answers for a few of these. It says, my purse is empty. There aren't coins in it. Now we can use many, much, a few, a little, some, or any. Which one should we use? Raise your hand if you can tell me the correct answer. Angela?
Any?
That's correct. The sentence is negative. We use any. Very good. Next sentence, Ethan. Number 2, I don't have money. I've only got $6. I've got $6 only.
I don't have any money.
No, because you said you've got $6.
I don't have much many money. I got $6.
Well, money is uncountable. Now we can count coins, we can count dollars, we can count, but if the word itself, money, is not countable. So that actually should be, I don't have much money. Zoe, take a look at number 3. It says, blank boys like collecting Pokemon cards. It's a popular hobby.
Some boys like counting poking.
Not some, because it says it's a popular hobby. It's a popular hobby. What would represent a popular, meaning lots of people?
Many.
Many. Yeah, many boys like collecting Pokemon cards. Good. And Alice, number 4, we need help to complete the project.
We need some.
We need some help. Very good. Let's do another round of this. Angela, number 5. There are only blank fish in the pond.
A few.
A few. That is correct. There are only a few fish in the pond. Ethan, 6. Is there a washroom in this shopping mall?
Is there any washroom in this
Shopping mall. That's correct. Zoe, number 7. Watching TV is bad for you.
Watching too much TV is bad for you.
That's correct. And then Alice, number 8, the kid has blank toys, but he doesn't like to share.
The kids has many.
Very good. Excellent. Now, what I'd like for you to do, oops. Okay, yeah, we'll move. We've got just a little bit of time. I think we can actually do one final round of this. Uh, Angela, you want to go ahead and do number 9? We've only
Uh,
got minutes left. I'm afraid we won't be able to finish the game.
a few.
A few, correct. Ethan, 10,
Can I have some water, please?
correct. Zoe, 11. The apartment is quite small. You have 2 to answer here.
Mm, the apartment is quite small. There isn't any space in it.
Good.
We can put too much.
That's correct. Too much furniture in it. And then Alice, number 12.
The cactus only needs uh, a few.
Now, water. Water is uncountable.
A little.
A little water. Yes, very good. Okay. So nice work there with our quantifiers. Now, there's other quantifiers that exist, but these two, understanding the difference between countable versus uncountable, and then when you can use some and when you can use any. Both can work in questions, but they have different meanings. Any is always negative, some is always affirmative. Now, we have a new book this week, Ranger's Apprentice, from the Ruins of Gorlan. Now, I'm going to read the description. Here's a little bit about the author. And I want to know, what genre of book is this? What genre of book? It says, they have always scared him in the past, the Rangers, with their dark cloaks and shadowy ways. The villagers believe the Rangers practice magic that makes them invisible to ordinary people. And now 15-year-old Will, always small for his age, has been chosen as a Ranger's apprentice. What he doesn't yet realize is that the Rangers are the protectors of the kingdom. Highly trained in the skill of battle and surveillance, they fight the battles before the battles reach the people. And as Will is about to learn, there is a large battle brewing. The exiled Morgorath, Lloyd of the Mountains, of Rain and Night, is gathering his forces for an attack on the kingdom. This time, he will not be denied. Who can tell me, what type of genre is this book? Ethan.
Fantasy, maybe adventure.
Yep, exactly. Fantasy adventure. Those two are very, very common that we see the two genres together, fantasy and adventure. Well done. So if you're interested in if that sounds interesting to sounds interesting to you, pick up that book and give it a read. Now, this week, I want you to think about our new vocabulary words, also the meaning and usage of certain determiners. Your writing assignment this week is, do you consider yourself athletic? Do you think being athletic is important? And explain why or why not. Write no more than 400 words, and you can submit that to the form within the next 7 days for edits. On the page afterwards, you'll find the words of the day to complete, along with the answer key to check your answer. Right now, I'll go ahead and copy over today's link to the chat room. If you'd like to get started with any of the exercises, just go ahead and click on the link and then request access, and then I'll be able to grant that to you. But any questions as we wrap up for today? All right, then I will see you all next week. Have a great week. Bye now.
Nice week.
You too. Thank you.
Have a nice week.
Thank you. You too.